Taking the time to understand your financial health is an absolute necessity, particularly when you are serious and committed about raising your standard and quality of life in order to impact your personal life and those of your loved ones. Today, I want to embark on taking you on a journey, and that journey is going to bring you to that point for us to talk about your income audit analytics. The ability to do your personal income analytics is absolutely necessary. And I just can't overemphasize the importance of this. In today's program, we will examine the 5 pillars of which the income audit analytics rest on. It begins by looking at your income analytics. It looks secondly at your expenditure analytics. It then moves on to look at your net income analytics. From here, we start to look at your future plan analytics. And finally, we look at your smart investment strategies analytics. And believe me, these 5 pillars are absolutely necessary. And if you stick with me to the end of this program, I will present to you enough facts that really helps you to understand why they are so important and why it is important for you to adopt this concept to your life when it comes to you being more informed, taking informed action to achieve a better quality of life. So I begin today's program by aligning this subject matter to some of the things that you want for yourself in the future. Now, let us suppose that you are an individual and you're serious about providing a safe space for yourself and your family. And that safe space that you're thinking about, we're going to call it home ownership. All right? Home ownership. So I want this to stand out in your mind as we go through today's exercise. Now, one of the first things that I want you to take into consideration here is your income. So we start with the income analytics. This is very simple. What is your monthly income? For the average person out there, let us say in the middle class, you may be earning about $130,000 and above. So we're going to take all of those who are in that category of $130,000. So we know that this is your baseline income. Now, from your baseline income, we are going to look at your expenses. Now, what is likely to be your monthly expenses? What are those things for you to consider? Now you have things like rent, you have things like food, you have things like utilities. Now let's take each of them and put a financial number to them. For rent, you invest on a monthly basis about $40,000. For food, you invest another $40,000. And for your living expenses, water, light, let's put in telephone into that also, transportation. You spend about $20,000 per month. So when we add these figures together, it gives you a sum total of about $100,000. So when we take this $100,000 from your gross income, it leaves you with a net monthly income of $30,000. So you're fortunate during that fortunate bracket where you're able to save about $30,000 per month. Now, I want you to stop right here and let's go back to one of your future plans. Now, here is where you're able to save $30,000. And that for most people is a dream come through, because I'm saying to you that there are millions of people across the world, hundreds of millions of people across the world who are not able to save this kind of money on a monthly basis. All right. So we so far look at your income, we look at your expenditure, we look at your net operating income. Let's go one step further and let's talk a little bit about your future plans. If you're alive and your heart is beating and you're an ambitious person, not only for yourself, but you want to create that safety zone for yourself and your loved ones, you must have future plans. And what are some of those things that is likely to be on your future plan list? One, you might be thinking about home ownership. Two, you may be thinking about car ownership. Three, you might be thinking about your children college fund, particularly so if you're preparing to start a family. You don't want to wait until that time comes to start thinking about it. You want to be thinking about these things way in advance. Four, you might be thinking about your IRA, which is your investment retirement account. All of these things may be on your future plans list. Along with this, you might be thinking about your emergency savings account. You need to have this. Once you're alive today, you need to put up for emergency. All right. And I'm going to throw one more here, which you're going to call your smart investment strategies. Now, out of that range of things that you have listed for your future plans, the one that I want you to take out is home ownership. All right, you're taking out home ownership from your future plans. And what are the realities that surrounds home ownership? My personal belief is that each and every one of you, you're entitled to own your own home. But not because I believe that you're entitled to own your own home means that you're going to own it. The reality is that hundreds of millions of people out there, millions of persons out there, will never reach the point to be able to own their own home on their own. Perhaps if you start thinking about working with a PFA, a professional financial advisor, or a personal financial advisor, they may be able to show you a few tricks and tips that can help you to get to home ownership much earlier. Now let's examine the realities that surround owning your own home. Now, owning your own home is not automatic. All right, it's not automatic. And this is one of the reasons why on Sundays, we want to do these financial health programs. And that's to really get your eyes open to the realities against, the future dreams that you have for yourself. And I know for sure that home ownership is one of them. Home ownership is not automatic. What are the realities that surrounds this? Now, first of all, when you are thinking about owning your own home, and perhaps you're thinking about filling out a relationship with the commercial banks, one of the first things that they will ask you for is better known as your balance sheet. And by balance sheet, it simply means that you must have enough money saved up to the amount that is necessary for you to get adequate equity in that home ownership process. Now, let me break all of this down. Now, you see a nice home. The value of that home is about $20 million. It's your dream home. Now, for you to, first of all, develop that partnership with the bank to begin that process of home ownership, that $20 million home, It simply means that the bank most likely will ask you for about 10% equity in the investment. Now, 10% of $20 million simply means that you will be asked to surface about $2 million, 2 million GYD, and that your balance sheet must reflect this 10% of $2 million, 10% of $20 million, which is $2 million, and above, taking legal fees and other paperwork into consideration. So first of all, you would have to demonstrate this, all right, when it comes to homeownership. The second thing that the bank is likely to look at is what we call your cash flow, your daily, weekly, monthly cash flow. And of course, your cash flow must be able to reflect a certain amount above your overall expenses, overall monthly expenses, strong enough to make that impression on the financial institution that is going to be, that you want to partner with you to help you own your first home. But this is not all that you have to think about. You also have to think about your credit score. And there are many persons that are still learning about credit score. And there's still many persons that really don't understand how credit score impacts your ability to borrow from commercial financial institutions. And you need to take the time to understand this. If you don't, get a PFA, a professional financial advisor, a personal financial advisor that can walk you through this process. In the event that you don't have one and you need to access one, I encourage you to reach out to us at Global Capital Inc. and at 10X Branding Marketing LLC out of New York. We'll be so happy to share this information with you. Now, as you position yourself to own your home, it's not only about your balance sheet, it's not only about your cash flow, it's not only about your credit score. Age too matters. All right? Age too matters. And let me give you some highs and lows about age. The earlier you're able to apply for a commercial bank loan, it ultimately influences the life cycle of the debt. The longer the life cycle of that debt, it allows your minimum, your monthly minimum balance to be much lower. All right? Or your monthly debt obligation to that bank on that loan to be lower. All right? And that could be something to smile about. All right? Because let us suppose that you're going to be starting your life cycle at this debt life cycle at age 20, has again started the debt life cycle at age 47. 47 may just have a short life cycle, let's say 15 years. And starting at 20 means that you may have 30 years. Now, the difference between the two, it's like day and night. One might be asked to pay back approximately, let us say, $125,000, or let's put it off at $75,000, and the other may be asked to pay about $40,000, and that's a major difference. And I'm just giving you rough figures here. All right, so don't hold me to this. All right, I'll give you a rough figure, but it's a major, major difference. So age do matters, and it's important for you to start thinking about homeownership very early in your life. Again, if you don't know how to navigate this process and you don't have a PFA, a professional financial advisor, or a personal financial advisor on your side, I want to encourage you to reach out to us at Global Capital Inc. We have a team of certified public accountants. We have the legal support to give to you. We have economists. We have smart investment strategists to work with you to ensure that you do this and do it right. Because buying a home, you can buy it at two levels. You can buy a home as an asset, and you can buy a home as a liability. And the last thing that you want to do is to make that investment and still make it a liability. But we'll leave that discussion for another day. But age do matters, all right? And you need to know this. Having collateral, it's important. While the home itself can serve as collateral, to make that strong impression, if you have some collateral, it can help in your negotiation process. All right, and there's smart ways in which you could go about doing all of this. So now that I've walked you through all of this, all right, you want to buy this home at $20 million. You need to have a savings of about $2 million, which is your balance sheet. That's the skin that you're going to get in the game. But let's look at this reality. You raising $2 million against your net monthly income. Remember, your net monthly income reflects a monthly savings of about $30,000. Now, let us suppose that you're able to save this consistently for the entire year. At the end of the year, that 30,000 becomes $360,000. But $360,000 is nowhere close to that 10% equity that you need to get in the game. All right, it's nowhere close. You have to save $360,000 over the next 6 years to be able to come to this point, all right, of having $2.16 million in your balance sheet in positive cash flow that you can now say you're going to leverage against that dream home that you want to buy for yourself. But I wish it was all just easy like this. And my objective here is to show you the reality, because it's becoming more difficult for families year after year to own their first home. My personal view, you're entitled to own your own home. But the reality is that are stuck up against so many persons, make it difficult for you to do so. Particularly so if you don't have a PFA, a professional financial advisor, a personal financial advisor to navigate you through this process. And let me say this, you with a savings of $30,000 a month, you have to save this up for a period of 6 years to be able to have $2.16 million. That's $2,160,000. Now, what can happen over this 6-year period? And I want you to think about this very seriously. We're here to ensure that we give you these critical kind of information that ensures that you can think through the process and you can make informed and educated decision when it comes to owning your own home. And this again is one of the reasons why we have designed this income analytics ecosystem. It's for you to think ahead, see beyond the problems, and take informed action to achieve desired results. Now, let me come right back to it. In 6 years, what's likely to happen? In 6 years, you are likely to have inflation, all right? The 6-year inflation curve. It happens all the time, all right? The cost for goods and services can go up, all right? Material costs of building goes up. Labor costs for building goes up. Transportation cost goes up. So when this happens, it literally devalues the dollars that you have saving. All right. So while the bank itself may maintain the equity that you need to get into the game at 10%, there are other inflationary factors that are at work. Because what it means now is that while 6 years ago, your dream home was valued at $20 million, 6 years after, it may be valued at $25 million. And that simply is going to push the equity amount that you need to raise to make that purchase. And in most cases, you're not looking at these things. You're not even considering these things. But the question I want to ask you today, is there a smart way? Is there smart approaches that you can use to achieve your home in a shorter period of time? So inflation on products, inflation on services does not affect you because you were able to execute with greater speed. My answer to you is yes. But this is what I want to encourage you to do. I want to encourage you, and the reason I want to do this is because I don't want you to be making these decisions on your own, because you have been making these decisions on your own for the last umpteen years. And how far has it taken you? If you're at that place where you still have these dreams, hopes, and aspirations, it has not taken you as far as you want it to take you. So my recommendation to you is to encourage you to get in contact with a PFA, a professional financial advisor, a personal financial advisor. They may be all around you depending on which part of the world you're at. In the event that you cannot make contact with one, I want to encourage you to reach out to us at Global Capital Inc. and 10X Branding Marketing LLC out of New York. Use the numbers on the screen and you make contact with us, because we would want to work with you to develop a strategic plan as early as possible to ensure that you're not only moving towards home ownership in the shortest possible time, but you can also take all of your future dreams: home ownership, car ownership, children college fund, IRA, investment retirement account, emergency savings account, and all of these things. We can work with you to develop a strategic plan to ensure that you get there. Our biggest dream in working with a private individual is to provide these financial health content. And our biggest dream here is to ensure that we can point you in a direction, put you on a particular path where you're able to significantly up-level your income stream and position yourself for financial independence over the next 5 to 10 years. In closing, there's a couple of things that I want to say. We are fully aware that your primary source of income is inadequate to help you realize all the things that you have on your future plans, dream list. We're fully aware of this. We are fully aware that you need your primary source of income. We're also fully aware that there are smarter things that you can do. So while you maintain your primary source of income, it's highly likely, highly possible that you can be taught about passive income streams. All right? Platforms can be built and platforms can be structured to self-generate income. And a quick example that I want to give about this is that you can have a digital marketing platform built up, all right? And on that digital marketing platform, you can have a number of products and services available under your branding. And as the public purchase, that purchase is directed in a particular part, but every time a sale is made from that site, that digital marketing platform, you get paid. So the key here now is largely about you understanding how to monetize this digital marketing platform. I've seen average individual generate thousands of dollars, US dollars monthly from this platform. And if they can do it, it is my firm belief, with the right information, the right training, the right coaching, the right mentorship portion and support, you can do the same and perhaps even better. All right. So I trust you would have enjoyed today's program, and we covered a number of topics here. The umbrella topic that we looked at today is your income audit ecosystem. Income analytics ecosystem. And under this ecosystem, we look at 5 pillars. We look at your income analytics. We look at your expenditure analytics. We look at your net income analytics. We look at your future plans, and we look at smart investment strategies. The one we did not spend a whole lot of time looking at today is your smart investment strategies. I simply talked not so long ago about you investing your time smartly and wisely to develop a digital marketing platform that can give you passive and residual income. Smart investment strategies where you expose yourself to a body of knowledge that really helps you to understand various financial markets. Like, for example, markets like ETF, exchange trade funds, markets like Vanguard Index. Why the Vanguard Index? Because the Vanguard Index is similar to the ETF. Why they are similar? Because they give your investment portfolio a broad spread. And the broader the spread is less likely you are to lose. All right, it minimizes the risk. But at another date, I will go into all of that with you to ensure that you are one of the smartest persons when it comes to investing your income in smart portfolios with limited risk. If any of you know me, I'm completely risk averse. All right, I only take risks when I can calculate the end results. And the end results must be something that my team and I can exercise control over. I trust you would have enjoyed today's program, and I trust you had a number of financial health tips. Remember, it's not enough to have this knowledge. It's equally important to apply this body of knowledge, because it is with the application of this body of knowledge that you're able to experience the change and transformation that you so desire in your life. Be blessed, and see you in the next book. But just before you go, remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right. And for those who might be joining me for the first time, my name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature. And I'm a self-published best-selling author of several books, including Manager's Toolkits, Billionaire Codes, and my last book is titled 10X Branding and Marketing Blueprint, Business Success Ecosystem. Be blessed, and see you in the next broadcast.